We are on an adventure, an all-American adventure. Looking at Wikipedia for Cottonwood, Alabama, we see notable people: Pete Coachman, former Major League Baseball player for the California Angels; Emmett Ripley Cox, senior judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit; Curtis McGriff, former defensive lineman for the New York Giants of the NFL; and Catherine Reed, born in Cottonwood in about 1901. She performed stage shows as the Lady Alligator Wrestler in the 1930s. Wow. So she came out of retirement in 1968 to appear on the Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In program.
That's cool.
How about that?
That's cool.
So there's about 1,200 people in the city. It's about 5 square miles. It began in the early 1900s. Some say 1901, some people say 1903. In 1910, the population was 352. At its highest in 1990, it was 1,385. And in 2020, it was down to 1,048 people that lived in Cottonwood, Alabama. It's got 5.8 square miles, and Alabama State Route 53 passes through the center of town, leading north 14 miles to Dothan and southeast 7 miles. So, like, we're coming into Dothan from the north on 431. And so, when you come into Dothan, you reach Ross Clark Circle. And then, what basically Ross Clark Circle is a traffic circle that routes all of the traffic in Dothan, Alabama, gives it the ability not to have to go through downtown. It was one of the original cities with forethought in the 1960s to begin this. What eventually happened around Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, Georgia with the interstates, Dothan, Alabama did it first as a progressive city in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. And that is one of the things that allowed Dothan to flourish at a time, and actually is one of the things that allows Dothan and hinders Dothan because it doesn't have an interstate now, because it didn't need it so much as other places seem to have, and so it never was routed through here. So this is one of the areas in the United States that is a long way away actually from an interstate.
Yeah.
This is Dothan High School. It was originally built as Northview High School and was going to be my alma mater. I drove my first car there, my 1982 Royal Blue Vet.
Wow.
Chevette. So this is a main route for people to go to Panama City Beach, Florida from Georgia. Panama City Beach, Florida marketed itself very early on, much like Dothan did, to try to attract visitors. And one of the main gateways was to get through Dothan, Alabama.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a left here, and this is Ross Clark Circle. Rural King there was the first big Kmart in our area. This was considered Kmart Corner for many, many years by me. This is part of the Bike Week, I believe. that's where these motorcycles are going to the beach. Please take just a moment to like and subscribe. And they're on Ross Clark Circle. They've come down 431, and 431 pretty much ends in Dothan at the southern portion. And from here, they take US 231. US 231 comes into Dothan from the north, and it feeds from Montgomery, whereas 431 feeds through Henry County from Eufaula. One of the biggest industry that continues to hold Dothan, Alabama together is its robust medical facilities. We have 2 major hospitals and an actual doctor's university here. Traffic jam coming into Cottonwood, Alabama. Somebody's cow must have got out.
A big traffic jam.
The Burger Barn. The place to be in Cottonwood, Alabama, is the Burger Barn.
So, did you know about the hot springs here?
Cottonwood? Tell me about it.
So, in 19, let's see, they're called the Seeley Brothers Hot Springs, I think is what it's called, yeah. The Hot Springs of Cottonwood, Alabama, the story of Seeley's hot mineral wells. So basically, from the late 1940s, early 1950s, they were looking for oil here. But what happened was that they could never find it. So this gentleman, whose last name was Seeley, actually found hot springs come out of the ground, and he opened up a spa like thing that people would come to heal themselves. So one of the things that it talked about was that how they found out it had healing powers is because one guy went in it and his rheumatoid arthritis healed. Another dog went in it and the mange from the dog was healed. And so they dug an even bigger hole, and a donkey was put in there that had some kind of illness, and that was healed. And so then they just kept digging it, and it formed this lake. So it formed this lake that people would come to for healing, which I thought was really cool.
Where's this at?
It is, now it's closed down now. It closed down in 2007, 2001. It closed down in 2001 because of a fire, I think. But it was a spa. But I'll tell you where it's at.
Can we drive to it?
I think we can.
the gate to the old Sealy Springs.
$8 an hour is what I'm worth. Putting shingles on houses that I can't afford. That's 64 for an 8-hour day. A family of 4 can't live that way. So now I'm working nights, parking cars at the club. On a good night I make $50. I take it all home and I add it all up. Somehow an 80-hour week just ain't enough. Something about this math just don't add up. Something about this math just don't add up. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living and it's turning me cold. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living and it's turning me cold. My wife says, babe, we really need a vacation. But she don't know our situation. I'm falling, falling, falling behind. Sir, don't make me look like a loser in my baby's eyes. I never used to be so cold and cruel. I never used to be so cold and cruel. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living and it's turning me cold. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living. I'm working for a living and it's turning me cold. If I were in a novel, I wouldn't be the hero. I wouldn't have the grand romance or conquer mighty foes. I wouldn't be the villain and hatch an evil plan. I wouldn't be the rebel. I wouldn't be the wise man. I would be the nameless clerk, a shadow passing by, unnoticed in the milling round, among the faceless crowd. If I were in a movie, I'd have no lines to say. I'd be out of focus, in the distance, on the edge of frame. I would be the background, a shadow passing by, unnoticed in the milling round, among the faceless crowd. If I were a magician and could really disappear, not a soul would notice, and none would shed a tear. If I were to vanish, it would bring no joy to an audience of no one, no witness to the void.